Hey guys, what's up, it's jjaaxxthelegend here, and today I'm here with another Minecraft tutorial, and in this week's tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to build this awesome melon and pumpkin farm that is fully automatic. Have a look at that, and it is super efficient and fully stackable. You can make this as high or as low as you want. You can have one layer, just to the bottom, you can have two. You could have 57 if your sky limit allows you to fit that. But anyway, let's have a look at how this farm works. The basis of this farm is that this minecart here activates a bunch of activator rails, that activates pistons with trapdoors on them, and then falls down and collects the remains of the pumpkin that was broken, because these pistons will break those pumpkins. But while it's collecting the remains, as you can see, it is also squashing down these other pistons. And then again, it'll drop down and collect that. Now once it has collected all of that, pumpkins will start growing and melons will start growing as well. It'll get stuck in here for a certain amount of time, fully unloading itself, so you can see it fully unloaded into these hoppers. And then it will go back up and start this whole system again. So it's super simple, and then we just have it going into a simple sorting system. Not a sorting system, a simple chest system. You can add a sorting system onto this very easily, but for the simplicity of this build, I'm not going to be adding one on. But if you are looking for a sorter to add onto this, make sure to check my item sorter. The link for that will be in the description down below. Okay, so the materials you will need for this build will appear on your screen now. Now this is for my 2-layer design here with the rails, etc. However, if you want to make this bigger, you're going to have to grab a few more of everything. And if you want to make it smaller, I suggest you grab just a roughly half of everything, maybe roughly minus a third off everything. Alrighty, let's get on with the tutorial. To start off this build, you want to come 3 blocks up from the ground and build an 11 by 11 square like so. Then you want to mark your front side with some sort of color block, or just remember it in your head. This front side is going to be the side we use to reference where we're building, and the front side is the side where our chests are going to be in our rail system. Now, come over to the front side once you have built this, and go to the back left corner and come 1 block in, like this. To there. Then come 1 block diagonally up, just like that. Now place powered rails coming right along, and at the very end, place 2 regular rails and make it turn like this. And do this on all sides, covering the whole platform. Now, I have to quickly state that you do not have to use all powered rails. It just makes it a little bit more tedious, as that means you have to work out where your power rails are needed so your minecart doesn't stop halfway through. Going right along like this. Now you should stop 1 block before, so you should have 1 block on each side like this. Super simple. Now that you've got 1 block on each side, 1 block gap on each side, you need to come down and power all of these rails with some levers like this. Oop. Or you could use redstone blocks if you want to be super compact and super tidy, but levers are normally cheaper, just like that. So, we've now done that. Now directly on top of this, 1 block up, so you can place it on top of the rails. Build another 11 by 11 outline. Just an outline out of your andesite blocks. And inside of that outline, grab some dirt and fill that in. It's going to be our first sort of planting layer, where we're going to be planting our melons and our pumpkins. Now, I also should state that you can use this for melon and pumpkin farm, but because of how efficient it is, why not use it for both? You get a good amount of both melons and pumpkins, but if you really need a load of pumpkins or really need a load of melons, you can just do one of them. Okay, boom, look at that. Now grabbing out some glass, any sort of glass, or you can use a regular type of block, but I like to use glass so I can see them growing and make sure it's fully working. Build 3 blocks up. Now again, you don't have to put the corners in. The corners are just for looks. I prefer it, you might not. So you can skip the corners like this, even with these blocks here. Make more of a round shape, but I prefer the look of the more square shape. It's Minecraft, everything's a square. The 3 blocks up on top of this andesite. Okay, so now we're going to be planting our pumpkins and melons so we can let them grow. So to start, we want to come to the middle, which is right there, and break the block and replace it with a slab of any sort. This. Then waterlog that slab. Now that we've done that, we want to grab out our hoe. And we want to start by hoeing this first block and then hoeing every second one. So we get sort of like a checkered pattern. And then we want to do the opposite. So we get a checkered pattern there. And so on. Oop, that's not right. Okay, once we've done this, we want to grab out our pumpkin and melon seeds. Now, there is a way we need to plant these. We want to plant these like, we want to alternate them. So one line here is going to be pumpkin. The next line is going to be melon. Pumpkin. Melon. Pumpkin. Melon. Just like that. That increases the efficiency because there's loads of spaces that everyone can grow around, especially in this checkered pattern. Now that we've got that, we are going to be placing in our blocks on top of this. We're going to be putting a roof on this. We're just going to be covering it up with our andesite. And I suggest maybe leaving a door or a 1-block hole just so we can get in and place our pistons in later. But now we've added that roof, I'm just going to break a bit of glass to get in. And then we're going to grab out our sticky pistons and any sort of trapdoor. It can even be an iron trapdoor. So I'm going to use those because they look nice and robust. Now on top of every dirt block here, so still in the checker pattern, we want to place a piston. Because these dirt blocks are where the melons are going to grow. Like this. Make sure these are sticky pistons because otherwise the trapdoors won't stick to them. And the trapdoors will float after the initial push and won't allow any more to grow. Now directly on top of these sticky pistons, place the trapdoor like this. Now in the new update, you can place them directly on top of you because of the whole height changes, just like that. Now you can use slabs, but again, it'll make it a little bit more robust, but it might save you a few more materials. Now that we've got that, you can actually block this up. Now I suggest doing this now, grabbing a sea lantern and coming through and placing one in each corner. Now this will give you a good amount of light, but to increase efficiency the most, you actually want to come back in here and place one directly above the light source if possible, if not one to the side of the light source or close to the middle of it. Now this can be any sort of light source from a torch to a block like a sea lantern or a shroom light. Okay, now we are going to be coming to the top and we're going to add in our detector rail system, this system right here. So to do this, we're going to need powered rails, detector rails and normal rails, just like that. Now we're going to start by coming to the corner here, the right corner. If we're facing from the top right corner and coming 1 block in like this, like that. Oh, no. We're actually going to do the bottom right corner and come 1 block in like that. My apologies. Then we're going to be placing a powered rail. Then we're going to match it up with our pistons down the bottom. So here we're going to place another powered rail. And then because we have a piston there on our second block, that should be directly above a piston. Oop, nope, we need to come 1 further in. So if you've done this the opposite way, where you've gone dirt, farmland dirt, so your pistons are placed the opposite way, you're going to want to make sure that your detector rail is above every piston. So it should be like that. So you can see these are above every piston. Now you want to place powered rails in between these detector rails and then some rails at the end, and then you want to sort of alternate again like a checkered pattern. See you guys once I have done this. Alrighty, once you're at to the end, again having a 1 block on each side gap, it should line up with this hole here, and then you want to just put a pillar up in line with that, and you can break this part down and just leave this top block, because that means when your minecart is on here, just for an example, push the minecart like that, It'll fall directly onto there and will be pushed. I'm just going to break that. So, this is the system. Now we're going to want to basically replicate what we did from here up there. So we're going to want to come one block up, build an outline, fill it in with dirt, then directly on top of it, build this. However, we're going to have to build this a different way. So we're going to build this, so instead of having it so it starts on this side here, in this bottom right corner one block in, we're going to have it so it starts in this top left corner. Just the top left corner, not one block in, just the top left corner. So I will come back to you guys once I'm up to adding in the rails. Okay, so I'm just now adding in my lights for this layer here. And then I'm going to be on to adding in the rails. Now, the reason why I'm going to be showing you guys how to add in the rails, because they can get a little bit confusing if you are new to pumpkin farm building. As you can see, because that's in the middle, I'm just going to place my things to the side. Okay, so basically we want to grab out the same sort of rails we did for this layer. So we're going to want to grab out our, not our polished andesite, we're going to want to grab out our powered rails, our detector rails, and our regular rails. Then we're going to come to the very top right corner, as you can see, top right corner, and we just want to place powered rails coming right across. And at the very end, use regular rails, which I don't have in my inventory, to make a turn. Then here is where we want to start our alternating. Now, I've got a piston directly under that one, but you might not, so you might have to do it the opposite way. But again, we want to start alternating between powered rails and detector rails, and at the very end, we want to turn like this. There we go. Make it day so you guys can see a bit better. Now, the main reason why we're doing this is one, because it allows us to power our pistons below, and it also allows us to power these rails, so we don't have to add in any extra redstoning to power the rails, these powered rails. So normally, if this was, say, a regular rail here, one, our piston wouldn't get powered, but two, this rail would also remain off, so our minecart wouldn't move. So it's sort of like a 2-for-1 deal. Like, you do this thing, you also get this thing. Okay, we're almost there. Now, like we did on all of the other ones, we're going to want to leave a one block gap on the side, so we don't want to come to the very edge on that side. Turn here. So after this one, this will be our last turn. And then again, we want to come right to the edge here, and you should be aligned with this one here if we've all done this all correctly. And then we want to do the same thing we did below, but building right up and then breaking all of those blocks. We also want to place a block there, one diagonally up. So again, that means this minecart will go like that, hit this rail, fall down, hit this block, and then be pushed off. And because those rails need to be powered, we're going to grab out our lever and flick all and place a lever on all of these blocks. So this one and this one here, but that one's already powered. So just on that block then. Now, if you do want to make this go higher, you need to sort of alternate which side your rail falls down on. If you build your next layer, your rail is going to have to fall down on this side, your minecart, and then vice versa. It's just going to have to swap. So it will be a little bit tricky. So I only suggest going higher if you know what you're doing. If not, if you'd like to see a mega farm of one of these, where I have a wheat farm and a pumpkin farm combined, or something crazy like that, make sure to leave a like on this video and comment down below. But now we need to work on our system that actually collects our melons once they've grown and been collected by our minecart. Now you want to come to the bottom front side corner, directly below your rail here, or the one block below your rail, and place a block. Oh no, you want to place a hopper going directly down, not a block like that, with any sort of rail on top. Then you want to place a minecart with hopper on top of that rail. You want to break that rail. You want to place a block on top of that minecart with hopper. Piston going down into that block like this, with a lever on that piston, and you want to flick it on. So that means the hopper and minecart should be suffocated by that bit of lag, suffocated by that block, like this. Then you want to place a detector rail going down like so. Now come a few blocks forward like this. Now place another block forward, and then come one block diagonally up like this, and place a rail like so. So there should be this one block level here. Now, grab out your fence gate and place it on top of that rail like so, with a block next to it. Now, come 3 blocks back, like this. And then from this rail here, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks like so. Place repeaters coming right out of there, going into a block on top of that last block, going to the side with redstone dust like this, and then grabbing our redstone repeaters and shoving them back into that block. Now set all these onto 4 ticks delay, so that is 3 clicks. When a minecart goes here, it should sit there for a short amount of time and then be sent off. That. Perfect. So now I need to make the system that sends it all the way up to the top, and this is super simple. All we have to do is work on making a staircase. So we want to make a turn there, then we just want to go up. But yours might look slightly different, but as long as it reaches to the top, it doesn't really matter what way it goes. And you need to make sure you want to do a bit of testing before you put anything in stone, because as you can see, you can't actually turn and go up. So that's why I added in that extra block there. We're going to want to go up like this. So let's grab this rail, and then we go up and turn like that. And then we go up. Oh, and look how perfect that is. So if you guys want to copy mine, I'll explain to you how I did it. Okay, 1 block forward, did a turn, and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 diagonally straight up, then did a turn, and went another 1, 2, 3, 4 up to connect it. And I put powered rails on all of those, and I'm going to place a lever to turn all of those on. Like that, including these down the bottom. Okay, now let's hook this system, this hopper right here, up to our main sorting system. No, our sorting system, our storage system. Let's start by coming down below this hopper and counting 6 blocks across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And breaking all of those blocks. Then create a hopper chain like this. So as you can see, because of my texture pack, all of my hoppers are facing that way into this block. Then you want to replace this block with 3 droppers directly on top of each other. Like that. Now dig out a small area around it like so. Doesn't have to be exact. This, and grab out some comparators, some redstone, and some redstone repeaters. Now place a comparator coming out of this bottom hopper, facing away from your main storage system. So our storage system is going to be there, so it's facing away from it. And going into a repeater, going into another comparator. Those shouldn't be in there. Going into another comparator that has redstone going around it like this. This comparator needs to be turned into subtraction mode, so right click. Then you want to place a redstone line going up like this, going into a 2 block step up like this, into a step up like that, with a repeater like so. That means if we put 2 items in the bottom here, those 2 items should be flung out the top, like that. Okay, now let's fill in these areas that we aren't using, just to keep it nice and clean. And we can even fill in the areas at the top if you want, or you can place carpet over the top of them, like say yellow carpet, and it will look pretty good. To hide the redstoning. Okay, now we've got that, we want to place in our chests. So to start, we want to come 1 block over from this redstoning and place in. 1 block over and 1 block forward and place in a few double chests like this, 2 blocks high. You can place this, make this as big or as small as you want. I'm going to make mine 4 wide. Then you want to place hoppers going into the back of each of those chests with a huge hopper line going across from the top, going all the way over to this dropper here, as you can see. But now it is time to activate this farm, and to activate it, it's really simple. Grab a hopper and minecart in hopper, place it on this detector rail, wait a few seconds and it should be sent off, and you want to make sure it's fully working just by watching it. Oop, I haven't powered these rails here, just in case you have done something like that where I haven't powered those rails at the top. Just want to do something like that. So remember, you will need to power these rails, and if you get anything like that, I'm getting a bit of lag because I've got 2 of these going at the same time, so I'm just going to stop that. But as you can see, it is working just fine. So now you guys know how to build a fully auto pumpkin and melon farm. So if you liked the video, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button, because I mean, it's free. Why wouldn't you want to hit a big red subscribe button? That helps the channel out. So that's going to be the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, and remember to subscribe if you're new. And I will see you guys later. And remember, stay carbonated!